41. Ah, you're recording it, Imelda?
Yeah, I'm doing it so that you don't have to struggle. I could because you made me the alternative host.
Thank you. I'm going to say good morning to those of us who are already here. We are recording this. We're not all on board, but that's okay. There's a couple of people that are specifically here at the start. They won't stay throughout the whole session. The people that were already on probably were hearing that I was discussing with Imelda, who was joining us. So I have Imelda with us, who's the course convener. So we're going to talk a little bit about the delivery for next semester. I also have Marcus with us, who does deliver into the semester 2 unit. Wendy, who also has the semester 2 unit, is actually with the year 2s right now. So she double booked and couldn't be in 2 places at once. I know you have all of the presentations with her tomorrow, so no doubt she'll find a time to update you and to speak to you as well. I'm going to just hand over to Imelda at the moment.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I know you are focused on all the requirements still that you need to do in the next couple of weeks for your semester 1 unit. So it's a big focus on exams and preparing for that. And I also just want to thank Ruth for all the work that she's putting in, because this is the time when you were supposed to start thinking of being out on clinical, or almost going out on clinical practice.
Yeah, and this is meant to be their preclinical week.
Yeah, so Ruth now has to prepare material so that you can still meet the clinical requirements for the units, because the requirements have not changed. So there are clinical elements, and that's why she's working so hard to make sure that it meets the requirements, although you are not on clinical placement. So I really want to thank her for all the effort that she's putting in. Now, you would have received the notification from Central, and also there was a communication from the Vice Chancellor in that an additional week was added to the semester 2 break for, which would have been the 28th of September. So now there's an additional week that starts the week of the 21st of September. And strange enough, just prior to that, Ruth said, you know, she does not know how she's going to fit in all the material because of coronavirus. The start date for the semester has been pushed back as well. So the start date is the 3rd of August. But what doesn't change is the fact that your clinical still has to start the week of the 2nd of November, because that is an agreed period with all the clinical centers. And it's also an agreed period with the other universities. We also don't want to push back clinical placement, because that would take you into December. And the clinical centers really they're not keen in having too many students around, in particular not first years, because that's the time when their staff starts to take leave. So the main thing for us as a program delivery is to ensure that when you go out on placement, that you are safe. Not just safe as a radiography student, but safe so that your patients will be safe, and also that the staff around you will be safe. So we need to ensure that you have the knowledge to be able to go out there and meet the requirements that we are expecting from year 1 students. Now, you've already missed out on 2 weeks of clinical, but Ruth is, as I said, she's trying to put measures in place so that there isn't a big gap in what you have actually missed out on. So that meant that we have to relook at how the timetable and how we're going to deliver that. And we have been trying our best behind the scenes to see what can be fitted in now with the start date of the 3rd of August, 2 weeks of semester break. And it's just impossible for the unit 1012, which is the clinical unit. So the reason why I'm here is to explain to you why we actually would like to start, and we would highly recommend a start date for 1012, the week of the 27th of July, so a week prior to the 3rd of August. The other unit, RAD 1082, will still start on the 3rd of August because it doesn't have the clinical component attached to that. We need to ensure that you have enough time to build up the knowledge when you go out there, but also some hands-on experience. Now, at the moment, we are still working hard to ensure that we can have you in the skills lab. It's not a done deal yet. Our head of department, as well as the Deputy Dean of Education, is really working hard to get approval for that. However, if we do get approval for that, we still need to apply social distancing rules, which means that for each of the sessions, we must have less students. That means that we have to have more rotations of students. So what we are proposing then, normally the labs would have started from 3 till 6, and it was just one group of students rotating on that day, and there would be 4 days, is to have an earlier start from 2 o'clock till 6 and actually have 2 groups, which will then enable us to have that minimum number of students in the lab so that we can ensure that you are safe, but also the academics and the clinical partners who come in and assist with those labs, as well as we also might have 4th-year students involved as well. So we need to ensure, even when we prepare you for clinical, that we do it in a safe manner. And it's because of that that I'm proposing that we start the unit RAD 1012 the week of the 27th of July. Because it's only that unit, there will be less activities for that week, but it will only be focused on that unit. So why I'm here is to actually ask you as students whether you would agree to an earlier start, because it's really important that you also understand why we are doing that, so that you can make an informed decision. So I'm going to, Ruth, I don't know how you want to do this for us to get permission.
I'm looking quickly that I've got at least one of my student reps here.
Yeah.
And I'm checking who the other participants are. I'm just going to see if the other one. Actually, Kenrick, I'm going to call you by name. I can see Sue is here, but Kenrick, are you here? Can you just either say yes in the chat or unmute yourself? Because I was going to partly put that onto you. I can't see the Kenricks here.
No, I don't think I see his name either.
Sue is here.
Okay, so can we ask you and Kenrick to, I don't know if can you do a doodle poll? Do you know how to do that? Or
No, I can simply just ask our group chat, and there's a poll.
Okay.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
do you have access to everyone in your group chat?
I think we're missing a few people, but I'm pretty sure it's almost everyone.
All right. What I will do is I will send you the emails of all of the students.
Yep.
And then you can just make sure that if there's someone missing that you can invite them, please.
Yep, that sounds good.
So the important thing is we need to know quite soon whether we can go ahead, because we are working with central timetabling. In fact, they wanted information by yesterday, but it's not going to happen. So is it possible, and Ruth, I'm also going to ask if that will work for you, to try and see whether you can get a response to Ruth by Monday. Today is Thursday.
Yep, sure.
Will that be okay for you, Ruth? I'm meeting later with Sharon, and I will tell her that there will be a delay because we are working out the start date.
We have labs this afternoon with the Year 4 students. So I always attend each lab session. When they send me the Zoom invites, they're not so good at inviting me. I have to prompt them and remind them. So I'll pop into each session and I will raise the question as well. So that way it's coming from me, and redirect them to the group chat.
Thanks for that. Now we also have Marcus here. Marcus, your delivery of the physics component with an earlier start date of the 27th of July, what would be your preference? Do you want to start that week, or because we are limited now in the number of weeks for the first years?
Yeah, I'm certainly happy to start that week if that's what works well for you. I don't have any other plans. Can't go anywhere, so that's fine.
It looks like you're somewhere in a city having a great time.
I wish.
Okay, so could I ask Ruth if you, for the moment, already start to see if what you can work out for that week, so that Marcus is included, the physics is included in that component as well.
Yeah. I just simply needed Marcus here today so that he knew what the conversation was with the students, so that I didn't miss informing him of something that we've told the students, so that we're all on the same page. Yeah, we got less than a full 24 hours almost to get the timetable done, which is really challenging because we're moving in a fluid, environment. I haven't discussed with everyone what we're doing next week, and that's part of what I'll be doing shortly. I'm going to say, unless there's questions for Imelda, unless there's questions for Marcus, I'm going to thank them. Imelda, if you stop recording your portion, you can leave the meeting and then you can